And welcome to the FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million Cash Game. This is a no-limit high-stakes cash game which has drawn some of the most famous faces in poker here to London, all of whom are trying to make as much profit as possible in order to be crowned Season 3 champion. Plenty of action guaranteed as we hand you over to your commentators.
Button in front of Phil Ivey. There's a live straddle from Elezra. And you can bet the action is only going to get more intense.
Oh yeah, that's true.
1,200 to call.
Wow, that's pretty
Fold.
good.
Nearly $1.9 million on this table.
Well, I just thought it was good for you anyways.
10,000 and I'll never wear sunglasses ever again as long as you ever see me in a poker table.
No, period.
Period, ever.
Raising to 4,000.
You can never wear sunglasses.
Well, I mean, if I go out to the pool or the lake, I have to wear them.
No.
Well, I mean, what do you want me to do, be blinded?
Wear a hat.
You will never see me indoors
Fold.
in any place for 10,000 with sunglasses ever again. Even if I was in a pool area and I walked indoors, I have to. If I took an extra second and didn't take them off, I would lose the bet.
Of course, Phil Ivey, a $200,000 swing. How does he react to that?
I'll do that for 10,000.
How does he come back?
Well, he seemed to get a little bit lively in Season 2 of this cash game when he got a bit behind. He's now 100,000 behind. We might see him opening up his game a little. It's Patrik Antonius and Tom Dwan seeing the flop. King, Queen, Deuce.
Nothing there for either player.
I'm pretty sure that's not going to stop Tom Dwan.
Since it bothers them so much, I'm not getting paid.
And of course, anybody that remembers Season 2 when Phil Ivey was down over 300,000 at one point.
Yeah, still managed to end up winning.
7-3, 7,300. Total bet to call.
Phil will take 100. Yeah, the rest of that. I think the Oakley paying.
Nobody pays.
How much Oakley pays?
You don't get paid. He had another company.
And every time Tom
They
Dwan
kind of rat it out. They
stares down his opponent, he almost looks scared.
The only place
Well, so far today, I think he hasn't had a genuine hand, so he probably has been scared every single one.
It's pretty scary how they never did anything, and that's why I think that sunglasses shouldn't be allowed in poker. I think we allowed it for a while because everybody thought we were going to make money. And I'm with Daniel. No sunglasses, no headsets.
Of course, Patrik Antonius was a model before he became a professional poker player.
Raising to 26,000.
And he senses the weakness. We haven't seen a move from him all day, but he senses the weakness and he makes the move. Great play from Antonius.
What an edge that got to be. I don't have to worry about, there's Mike, I want to beat him. There's an old man, he can't play.
And what did Antonius see in durrrr to make that move?
Well, I think he's seen an awful lot of hands that Tom Dwan's been betting when he hasn't got the goods. It's the kind of board whereby there aren't that many hands that Tom Dwan's going to have, maybe, that he's going to be comfortable with calling it a really re-raise there. So he's decided to try and take it off him, and it's worked.
FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million Cash Game. Button in front of big winner here. One of the big winners, that is Chris Jesus Ferguson. He's up over $200,000.
Fold. Fold.
How much what are you in, 200, Tom?
Action over to Tom Dwan, our biggest loser at the moment.
2,200. Fold.
Phil Hellmuth not going to play. We haven't seen much from Phil Hellmuth. He's down nearly $50,000.
Fold.
not about the money, Phil.
Finally, he gets a genuine hand here, Durr. That's just absolutely typical. When it's not running for you, you finally get the big hand. You've been racing all day, and he doesn't get a single player calling.
And you can see he looks up to the skies, wondering, can I get a break?
I think cash games are really interesting because it's actual money you're playing with instead of tournament chips, and also you're generally a lot deeper stacked, so there's more thought that needs to go into every hand, because it's not like a tournament where you're just all in on the flop or before the flop a lot of the time. In cash games, usually you will have a bet or 2 checks on every street, and there'll be more action, hands get more defined, and just are more interesting because of that.
We're at the Full Tilt Poker.net $1 Million Cash Game. I'm David Tuckman alongside professional poker player Gary Jones. We have 8 of the best assembled at this table. David Benjamin next to, of course, the young superstar Tom Dwan, better known as Durr.
Yeah, he's an online professional for the most part, starting to make a splash in the tournament scene as well.
But you know what the sick part is? After I made the bet,
Nearly $1 million in tournament winnings. Remember, he's only 22 years old, and of course he's sitting next to the legend, Phil Hellmuth.
Who's standing next to him as it happens, yeah. 11 World Series bracelets, Phil. And about $11 million worth of tournament winnings as well. That's not a bad double 11, is it?
1,800 total bet. Called.
And of course, Ivey with the ducks.
He's called the 1800 raise of Phil Hellmuth.
I miss playing with all you guys. I remember all the days where I just played with you guys every day and busted you guys every day. Those were the fun days. Y'all got rich. I blew all my money in sports.
18 total bet. Total bet is 18.
Raise it, Tom. Oh, there's no action in this game. Phil raised under the gun and 7 people called.
No, he limped under the gun. I raised. I thought it was going to be him and I.
Well, yeah. The only people that folded were the 2 tightest players in the game.
Give him the cards, babe.
If we were playing the 7 deuce game, I'd still be in probably.
6 players in this pot.
Check.
You'd think we were playing 2-4, but it was $1,800 for each of them pre-flop. The pot is nearly $12,000.
And on a pot flop of 8-8 ace, it's 6 players in and not one of them's caught an ace or an 8.
Tom Dwan is still in the lead with his pocket 4s. He has 2 pair. Ivey also has 2 pair.
It's a really small bet though, that 2,000 to Phil Ivey. But so far it looks like he might get around. Just the man who's actually in front right now, Tom Dwan with his 2 4s.
I'm here to have fun with fun.
Well, the small bet. Everybody got scared of it.
Show a bluff. Ace what?
Ace king I had.
You just fired the no pair, no draw on the 6 people like it was nothing. Like nobody could have a hand.
I figured if I bet 2,000, I won 12. It would be a pretty good bet.
Pretty good. I don't think like 1 out of 6 times like 6 people won't have hit an ace or an
I was
ace.
shocked. I mean, I thought somebody was going to call. I love No Limit because No Limit's just a game of reads. I mean, it's a fly by the seat of your pants type of game, and you know, and you can play patiently, and then occasionally just get out there with like some crazy hand bluffing every street.
I think Phil Hellmuth will bring a lot of excitement to the table. He's very excitable and he's a very controversial figure.
What a joke this is.
I expect him to do a lot of talking, and we'll see where that gets him.
A lot of the great poker players think that Phil Hellmuth's game is better left on the tournaments against Fish and not on the cash game, and hopefully that'll play out here again today against me anyway.
Plays a little differently than the rest of the high stakes cash players, I would say. But I guess it works for him. I mean, I don't know. I guess time will tell.
I don't play many cash games. I mean, occasionally I'm invited to Hollywood to play, and You know, when I played one night there, I won 340,000. I never even went back.
His ego will always be his downfall. If Phil would ever learn to control his ego, he's probably the best of all. He just needs to focus on the game and not be so egotistical, which is never going to happen.
You have like a movie, you know, and then you have your real life. And my movie's amazing. I'm hanging out with the world's biggest celebrities, actors, sports guys. Become, you know, famous around the world for being a poker brat. And I love it, and it's fun, but it's a persona. Is the desire to win, is the desire to be the best in the world, is the desire to be the best of all time in poker, and that's what I'm trying to do.
With the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game. 8 players. The action is fast and furious here.
It was a lucky bet, Mike.
Blinds, of course, 300, 600. We've seen a lot of straddles, which are 1,200, and a lot of action.
You are a lucky, lucky, lucky guy. All right. 2 dimes.
And Mike the Mouth Matusow on the button with ace-10 of hearts is going to raise it up.
Oh, they always re-raise me. Why do they do that?
Raising.
A re-raise from Tom Dwan.
Before he raised him, he said, why they always re-raise? Before he even reached his cheek.
I mean, it just doesn't feel fair to me.
Now, durrrr obviously not respecting Matusow's button raise, but Matusow's actually got a pretty good hand.
Still not a big hand. He's not going to want to commit too many chips with that, not unless he catches a big flop. And let's see what the dealer can bring them. Well, it's a bit for both of them. Up and down straight for Mike Matusow and top pair for Tom Dwan.
See, Tom Dwan is about a 3-2 favorite over Matusow.
Yeah, about a 6-4.
Check.
David, you gonna go to your home and play after?
Check.
Goes check, check.
Huh?
The 9, that's a good card for Tom Dwan.
I already plugged my computer in when I come, because I'm...
That check showing he can mix up his game, doesn't have to keep firing. I think we're going to see him fire now.
2 clubs out there, straight draw out there. Doesn't want to give up any more free cards. Mike the Mouth finally quiet.
He's probably quiet now because it's the first time he's actually been in a decent pot.
10,800 is the bet.
Bet of 8,800 and called from Mike Matusow.
The pot has ballooned up to $36,000. Matusow's going to need a queen.
Not a 6 is what he needed.
I was going to say a queen, a 7, or an ace would have gotten it done. And if you're in Dwan's position, do you check here to induce the bluff?
Well, he's got to try and decide what he thinks Mike Matusow's got. I think it's probably best for him to bet this one. Hope that his reputation of a bluffer and a stealer is going to get him paid from an 8 or a pocket pair of some kind.
Even maybe ace-king.
Maybe even ace-king, exactly. As it happens, I think it's just going to win him the pot.
Bet.
How much?
27,700 is the bet.
$63,000 pot, $27,000 to call. Remember, both these players check the flop. Very easy here for Dwan to have nothing at all.
$27 what?
700.
And is Matusow seriously contemplating calling this $27,000 bet with just ace high?
I don't think this is just for the cameras. I think he's pretty seriously considering making this call. He just...
He's definitely familiar with the way durrrr plays.
Exactly, so he just can't think of a hand that he's going to check the flop and then have to keep betting. Apart from the bluff. That's what's going through his head.
Well, obviously we can see the cards, but durrrr could easily have 5-3 suited in this case.
Exactly, and he's got plenty of previous history for doing that kind of thing.
It's a great value bet from Tom Dwan.
Yeah, exactly. I think the reason he might get this call is the fact that he checked it on the flop. I think that could be it.
And for a player that primarily plays on the internet, he's giving nothing away. And he's going to call
made the
this.
call. I think the check on the flop was brilliant by Tom Dwan.
It's good.
Oh, and Matusow.
I think Mike's going to be pretty upset with himself at that one. I don't think it's the worst call Mike's ever made. I think he's thought it through. He thinks that Tom hasn't got a hand he can check on the end. He's going to have to try and bluff it.
He got to me once or twice, but I mean, if you're a great poker player, you can't let somebody, I mean, he's like a fly. You just, if you let the flies get to you, then you lose, you know.
She's sitting almost next to me, so I have to listen to him all the time. He's never gonna lose a battle on a table. He's Mike the Mouth.
I've always been a great cash game player. A lot of people think different. I lost a $100,000 pot with exact scenario online the other day. People say I'm known as an emotional person.
You just don't know how bad I run in poker.
Well, I've learned over the years to control my emotions. It doesn't even faze me.
You're right.
I expect to lose it. I'm gonna come in with a super tight image, like they always think I'm real tight. And once I establish that image, it's gonna allow me to open up my game a little bit. I'm really good at reading people, and I'm really good at picking off bluffs by picking off things that people do. The way people throw their chips in, the way I look at the way they look at their cards. I see whether they like their hand or not, and I am the best at that, and that's what makes my strength.
It takes a certain mentality to be able to deal with the ups and downs without cracking.
Anybody can play great when they're winning. It's who can sit there and get pounded day after day after day and keep bouncing back. And you ask anybody in poker who's been pounded more than Mike Matusow and bounced back, they're not going to say many. I got a lot of heart. That's what I'm known for. A lot of heart. Bounce back off the table and just keep coming back.
We're at the FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million Cash Game. I'm David Tuckman alongside Gary Jones. Mike Matusow now down $57,000.
I said I'm like the music group U2, buddy.
The most what?
I'm like the music group U2.
If you would have aces, you probably end up with that.
What's that? An outdated band
They just
that
keep coming
nobody
up with
likes
hits
anymore?
every single year, baby.
What's
Year
that?
after year, decade after decade. I'm there in poker, U2's there in music. You understand? You got it? I play this game in the 80s, 90s, 2000, 2010s.
Tom Dwan, maybe starting to feel a little bit more confident.
It's going to be right hand again, but we'll check it. Well, because I think you should play with it.
Was down nearly $170,000 at one point. Now he's only down $97,000, and he's got pocket sevens.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm going to forget.
Cool.
Well, that's 4 players to this. The 2 Phils. Phil Hellmuth, Phil Ivey, Tom Dwan, better known as durrrr, and Eli Elezra.
Pot over 16,000.
2 spades on this board. That's good for Eli. He's sitting there with 8-10 of spades.
Only one overcard to durrrr sevens.
And he's going to find out if he's in front or not by putting a little bet out there.
And by winning a couple of pots, what will that do for his game?
Well, he's obviously going to be a little bit more confident, but that might be about to take a bit of a dent. I'm willing to bet that Eli at least is going to call this, but I'd probably expect him to re-raise. Just because he raised before the flop, he can represent the king and a lot more strength than he actually has.
Well, we quite haven't gotten to Eli yet. We're still on Phil Ivey. Phil Ivey not throwing away his pair of deuces just that quickly.
He says fold.
Well, he does fold now. Action over to Elezra. And Elezra's actually a favorite to win the hand here, because an 8 or a 10 would do it as well.
I'd say he's definitely a favorite to win the hand. He's got a couple of ways he could do this. A nice re-raise would be enough.
Cool.
He hasn't though. Looks like it's a flat call. He's got a few cards he can catch, 8s, 10s, and spades.
Pot is now nearly $40,000. Well, there's one of his cards.
And that pretty well leaves Tom Dwan in all sorts of trouble. From it almost being a 50-50 shot, he's now only got 5% chance of winning.
Check.
And if you're Elezra here, do you take the free card? Obviously, we know that durrrr is capable of a big check raise on the turn.
I think I'll take a free card here. You're not afraid to give a free card. You're the one that's actually kind of on the draw. If you're up against a king, you're happy to take it. And if you're up against a 5, you want to make it look like you haven't got that much. So, and yeah, he checks it as well. That 3 looks like a half-decent card for Tom Dwan. He's probably putting Eli on maybe 10s or jacks at this point. Probably not a spade draw. I don't think he thinks he can get rid of his man.
And Elezra is going to just take this down with the pair of 8s. Did he miss a value bet there on the river?
Well, once it's been checked again on the river, there really is probably an opportunity for him to maybe squeeze a little bit out of Tom. But the truth is, what does he think he can beat that he'll get a caller from?
Like a machine.
Just happens that he's got 7s in this pot.
The poker prodigy that is Tom Dwan is having a tough time of things at this table. We'll take a quick break and we'll see you in a couple of minutes' time. Welcome back to the hottest poker table in London. It is the FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million cash game, and around the table is a who's who of poker brilliance. So let's hand you straight back to your commentators, Gary Jones and David Tuckman.
Barry Mundy there overseeing the action, keeping track of how much money each player has, making sure things run smoothly. And of course, action on Tom Dwan. He's going to raise it up.
Total bet to call. Fold.
David Benyon trying to see a flop cheat.
Called.
That ain't going to happen while it's Tom Dwan's button. Raising up with ace deuce, and Phil Ivey calling in the big blind.
3,000. Right now, your new nickname. 200 called.
3,200 the bet, and 3,200 called in 2 spots.
See, there's 3 ways.
It's just like playing online for these 3. They play an awful lot.
Check. Check.
Everybody with a whole bunch of nothing. Benjamin with the gut shot straight draw. Dwan.
And if he catches it, it'd probably be very good because he could catch Tom Dwan at the same time. He'd make a smaller straight.
Bet.
Mike, I know my initials are ATM.
8,600.
And a big bet.
ATM.
Phil Ivey's gone.
600 total bet.
OV. OR.
Cool.
Sicko.
Pot is nearly $28,000.
Sickest, sicko. Sorry.
And a 5 certainly would be the magic card.
17. Yeah. 17 change.
Here comes the turn.
Oh, and there it is, the 5 of hearts. It's an unbelievable card there. Tom Dwan makes the wheel, ace to 5 straight. But David Benjamin with the absolute nuts right now. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 high straight. And you can see he cannot lose this pot. And it's just a matter of how can he maximize the value of this hand.
The speed that Tom Dwan's been playing, I can't see this pot going anything other than all in. Whether it happens now or on the river.
Well, Tom Dwan, an absolutely fantastic internet player, knows how to get away from second best hands. Can he do it here?
I very much doubt it.
Ever the skeptic.
21 free.
Betting 21,300.
And he bets 21,300. The pot is now $49,200. Action back to Benjamin.
I think the faster that David Benjamin plays this pot, the more money he's going to get.
Benjamin has over $400,000 behind. Dwan with nearly $200,000 behind. And this has the makings of an absolute monster. $50,000 pot, $23,000 to call. But between you and I don't think Benjamin's just going to call this one. Can durrrr get away from this hand?
I really don't think so.
Very hard to put your opponent on 6-7.
63 total bet.
And he makes it 63,000 total. 40,000 more. And this pot had up to $112,000. Action back to durrrr. It's almost impossible to put Benjamin on the 6-7 gut shot. Remember, there was a bet on the flop and Benjamin called. Absolute stone face from Benjamin. Action on. Tom Dwan.
The black one's in his hand with $25,000 each.
That's all right. That's what you expect. If you let that get to you, you're making a mistake.
Absolutely insane amount of money here at this table.
Right. when you're like me and it's steaming and upset.
And what is the internet phenom going to do here? It's $40,000 back to him. As you've already said, it's almost impossible to see him getting away from this one. Remember, Benjamin has shown bluffs all day long. No reason to think he's not bluffing right here.
I'm all in.
And he's all in!
Cool.
Tom Dwan is all in. David Benjamin quickly is going to call this, and Tom Dwan is drawing dead.
You have 6-7? Nice hand.
It ain't over yet. You got ace deuce. I played ace deuce.
There really is not a lot that poor Tom Dwan could have done there.
and he looks absolutely sick. Completely inconsequential river. Dwan was drawing dead. And look at those chips getting shifted over to the Frenchman.
What if Can you get 150? 150?
150. Yeah.
Like 150 right there.
Wow. Nice hand.
Well, David Benjamin's chip stack is growing and growing. He'll be a happy man as we go to this quick break. We'll see you in a couple of minutes' time. There are some cool heads gambling some big pots here at the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game. So let's hand you straight back to your commentators, Gary Jones and David Tuckman.
We're at the FullTiltPoker.net $1 million cash game. And we have over $2 million at the table right now.
No, I know,
The biggest names in the game. There's Mike the Mouth. Ever talkative.
I was trying to be like the kind of knocked off the
buttons in front of Phil Ivey.
And then you said,
Wait, Phil, I'm not going to leave you any money. I'm going to leave you broke.
Free. I was trying to be like a friend like you were to me, you know, like
Don't
70
ever
points
be that-
loser.
Don't
Win it
ever
all
be
back.
that kind of
and
friend
then
to me, Mike. I don't need friends
cold.
like them.
Let's ask anybody here what cold is. Here, I'm gonna ask everybody here if this isn't cold. You think I'm cold? Okay, we're playing Chinese for like 10 hours. I'm up 70 points. He wins 90 points straight in like 40 minutes. And says, okay, I'm done. I'm gonna play 3 more hands. Let's play for double. We play 3 more hands for double. He hits
55.
royalty, royalty, royalty. And now I'm 44 points loser.
Get a
Let's say,
raise here
Phil,
from Hellmuth.
Let's play 2 more hands. Okay, but not for double. And he says, I'm cold?
Yes.
That's a hell of a story, right?
No, but I mean, don't he says, I'm cold? You don't think that's out of line?
And Hellmuth takes it down pre-flop.
That's about as cold as you can be.
Mike, you and I have a difference of opinion. See, when I play rolling on the internet, we quit any time. That's the way I like to play.
You could play quit every time, but you can't play 3 hands for double and then say, and I say, let's play 2 more. And then okay, and then say, but not for double. That's like so nitty, it's a
Have
joke.
you played? It's fun. I played Barry, I played Ellie, I played a lot of people online. How much in my head? Maybe 100. Not that much.
Phil, he makes
No,
a royalty
maybe
every
100.
other hand. I mean, you have to hear the buzzer too. Bon, bring, bring.
How much time do you have to set it?
Bring. You got like a minute.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You
And of
play-
course,
play so
Mike the
often,
Mouth
it only
there.
takes 20 seconds to set a hand.
Self-proclaimed the best no-limit cash game player at this table, but he's not proving it so far, is he?
No, he's not exactly going it all his own way. Made a dubious call earlier on.
Online, you're a genius, Mike.
And that's pretty well what's cost him his chips right now. He's down to 41,000.
Tom Dwan's got a big hand here again, pocket 9s.
Oh, you got him a Chinese game tonight.
You don't have anything to say? Cat got your tongue?
You got 500 a point Chinese tonight. You got me.
Cat got your tongue? I only
Just
want
Eli
to
Elezra
You never, I mean,
and David Benjamin. Eli Elezra's gone, so it's just these 2 faces again.
Well, you know Benjamin was going to call. This is his favorite player. And it's a very, very interesting flop. Benjamin with the best hand here and the gut shot. Dwan with the gut shot as well. Benjamin way ahead, though.
Yeah, it's a very good flop for David Benjamin's hand.
Is he winning? David, are you winning or losing?
But I've only watched like 6 hands.
5,200.
He's 250 in the game. What do you think? What are you in?
But you know that's all marketing.
5,200 the bet.
He's in at least 200 extra that he started with.
A call from David Benjamin. Here's the turn.
King.
King, that does not help Tom Dwan.
Well, it might help Tom Dwan get away from the hand. Benjamin now open-ended,
Or you have a option to put ace, queen, 8,
as well as a pair of 10s.
and ace to 5 straight.
Well, it's gone check, check, and now it's a straight on the river for David Benjamin.
And it's just getting uglier and uglier for Dwan.
Now the question is, does David Benjamin check it?
Kings, aces.
Hope he gets Tom Dwan representing an ace.
Kings up and ace high.
Then he has this hand, right? He has.
I mean, is there a chance that Benjamin thinks that Dwan's hit the river, get called by an ace?
Exactly, that's the other play. If you think he's got an ace, you can bat it into him and hope to get a caller, because there's always a chance if he has got the ace, he might check it.
9 high Broadway, ace is in the middle and 4 is up top. 9 high straight, ace is in the middle, 4 is up top.
I like 9 high straight, ace and 4s.
Thank you. I told him that too. He thought I was nuts.
12,005.
And Benjamin puts a bet in there. Of course, Dwan, it's an easy laydown. And not only is Benjamin killing the table, he's up over $100,000. He's got Mike the Mouth in his right ear the entire night.
What I love about cash game is the fact that you don't have to wait. As in tournaments, you only have one shot. You know, you lose your chips, then you're out. Here you have you can analyze a lot of different things at the table, more things, and then play many different strategies that you cannot explore in tournament.
You know, we have a bet, Phil, we have a bet with Patrik. Every 10 minutes to see how many sessions of 10 seconds he'll be quiet. You know how much I'm losing so far?
Me?
You never, no 10 seconds you were quiet, yeah.
Well, I was told to come in and liven up the game that you guys are a bunch of wet noodles, so I just did what I was told.
I mean, Chris has said 3
And Eli
words.
Elezra, who's happy to gamble and play. He calls.
Said 3 words. You have 6-7, nice hand. He ain't said another word.
Matusow passes.
I'm just here for your entertainment value.
And Elezra and Ivey are both pretty deep. Elezra with $363,000 in front of him. Oh, and we could have fireworks here. Elezra a top pair. Ivey with a set of jacks.
5,000.
I'm going to enjoy it more when I get a little revenge, Mr. Ivey.
You know what, Phil?
I can imagine this going check, bet, call, check, bet, call, check, bet, call.
Let me tell you how much
Unless a 9 comes off, and look at that. That's trouble.
Yeah, that could be trouble. That's 2 pair for Eli Elezra.
And we saw Eli Elezra has no problem committing all his chips with 2 pair. Phil Ivey is a master at building a pot.
I'm willing to take side bets. Yeah, tomorrow.
Why would I even? I haven't talked to Annette since I
I know, but
There's $15,000 in the pot. The chance of this going well over 100,000. And Mike's just talking in the background.
I know that. I heard this from a higher up that this was already set up. I said, and I'm willing to take side bets for any of you guys that want to bet on against Phil.
First of all, it's not set up.
It's not set up.
13,000.
We've got a $13,000 bet from Phil Ivey.
Wow, I'd like to ask the person that told me this.
And one thing we've seen in the first 2 seasons of the $1 Million Cash Game is when he flops a big hand, he builds a pot. And that's what he's doing here.
I heard you're playing a cash game tomorrow.
It was kings against queens.
Like 100 buy-in each or something.
And then the very next hand, and a few hands later, an ace queen, a few ace king from my last few. And then she wrote that she beat me playing.
And Elezra raises 25,000 more.
It's nothing to do with that. I just want to.
Oh, and things have been going Elezra's way until now. He's not drawing dead. He can still catch a king to win this pot.
Wow, Mike.
I'm just wondering if it's possible for him to get away from it if Phil decides to re-raise again. If Phil raises 40, 50,000, I don't think Ellie's going anywhere. Not famous for his tough laydowns, Ellie.
Ivey started this hand with $181,000, and I'm pretty sure this is all going to go in. Ivey's one to build pots.
Well, he's only flat called. Maybe he's afraid of the straight.
Obviously, the Queen 10 open-ended straight draw would have gotten there. Only we know that Ivey is ahead. Pot is $91,000. And this is an interesting question. When Elezra bets this pot, can Ivey raise it?
Well, he does. He does make some very good value plays, Phil Ivey.
And the pot is $45,000. The bet is $45,000. The pot is $136,000. $45,000 to Phil Ivey. Another monster pot.
Well, he's not thinking about passing. I'm pretty sure about that, Phil. He's trying to decide whether it's worth doing a value raise.
Yeah, he's definitely going to at least call this. And the table has finally noticed the big pot, and they've quieted down.
And by the table, you mean Mike.
$136,000 pot, $45,000 bet to Phil Ivey. Now, if Ivey raises this, can Elezra get away from two pair?
In truth, if Phil does raise this, there isn't really a lot that Eli could beat.
Nothing at all. But as we've noticed, Elezra doesn't like to throw away hands. Ferguson watching on. Ivey trying to decide what to do. And Ivey raised 50,000 more. Elezra calls. Elezra actually didn't think he raised, turned over his hands. Ivey actually raised 50,000 more. Elezra quickly calls, and that is an absolute monster pot.
Nearly $250,000 in that pot. I think Eli was a little bit confused, didn't see the two black chips.
Yeah,
With Phil putting his chips across the line, turned his hand over, but then said call as soon as he saw that it was going to cost him an extra 50,000.
How do you guys get cards like this? I'm going to get to make a pair.
Take a look at the current leaderboard here. Chris Ferguson, way up top there, up over $200,000. Eli Elezra right behind him, up $142,000. But the big story, of course, internet sensation Tom Dwan, better known as durrrr, he is down over $300,000.
Well, that's all we've got time for from this show, I'm afraid, but I do hope you'll join us again next time for more massive pots and high-rolling champagne poker here at the FullTiltPoker.net $1 Million Cash Game.